What's going on, everybody? It is episode 883 of Pop Culture Crisis. My name is Brett. I am here with my co-host. Introduce yourself, please.
Hello, crisis actors. It's Mary. Sorry, it's a vocal tick now. I gave it to myself. The James Charles video has fueled my verbal tics for the next week.
It will go on forever now.
Yeah, I don't know what it was before that.
Funnily enough, Olivia mentioned that's exactly how we greet the neighborhood cat.
Hello.
Hello.
Yeah.
It's a little bit less bombastic when we do it, but it's pretty close.
There's no way to speak to human beings. But guys, we've just been losing it a little this morning, not gonna lie. I was singing My Chemical Romance songs while Brett was trying to Photoshop. Then there was a literal chainsawing upstairs.
So there's construction going on here at the building. So there's saws, there's trucks backing up, making beeping noises.
Just the hammer just whacking
yes.
Like that all morning.
It made me think when I used to work overnights. So I would get home at 8 in the morning and lay down for bed. And of course, by the time you get ready for bed, you lay down, it's about 9 in the morning. And at just literally the hammer started striking at 8:59 because at 9 on the dot, you heard the first swinging of the hammer against the building at the apartment that I used to live in. So, this is the hell that made me.
Yeah, I just said I felt like Cate Blanchett, talking about how much she hates leaf blowers. It's always that in the middle of the night when I go to bed. Then the dump truck arrives and it's like, dun, dun, for 10 minutes. Yeah. So we were losing it a little bit and struggling with, just being overstimulated while we were prepping the show today. So apologies if it's a little more haphazard than usual, but I think we're going to make it through just fine.
We'll figure it out. We're going to get through all of this. It's going to be okay. You guys will not have to hear any of the hammering and the banging and any of that stuff.
We will for the next 3 days, apparently, maybe longer. But also, another thing is that the air conditioning is off again. So
and apparently that's because the unit it's not. I just got a message from Raymond. It's not because of what they're doing up there. It's because they're having problems with it again. So
great, that's even better.
Tomorrow, and I'm putting my desk fan over here.
That is even better.
I will suffer through it today because it wouldn't be fair to me just be sorry, Mary, I have a desk fan. That seems rude. I'm giving you a day.
And here I was thinking that they just turned it off and it was a fixable problem.
I wouldn't do that to you today because it would be very rude of me to take my fan from in there and be sorry, Mary, guess you're crap out of luck. I'm giving you a day. If you wanna get a desk fan for yourself for tomorrow, you can, so that way I don't have to feel bad.
I think I will be fine, but if I'm at the point I was, a couple weeks ago toward the last part of the show, we might have to sign off. I did not expect this.
Well, we'll wait and see. I mean, it's not too bad in here.
No, it feels fine right now. It just was getting really bad into the second hour.
Yeah. So we'll wait and see. All right, guys, now that we're done with that entire whole tangent, hit the like button on this video, this live stream, and subscribe to the channel. If you are new here and you have not subscribed here yet already, please and thank you. Remember to share it out with everybody in your life that you both love and hate in equal measure. The more people that you share the content with, the faster channels like ours can grow. And really the best thing you could do is to share it with all the people that you don't like, and then you can argue in the comments section about, whatever it is that we're talking about. People are doing that right now because I made fun of the WNBA. You should go in and over there on X and make fun of people with that.
WNBA defenders in the chat right now?
I highly doubt there's any WNBA defenders in the chat right now. But if there are, that would be interesting. Make yourselves known. I would like to know what you guys think of the shirts they wore that said "Pay us what you owe us," which, of course, if we're judging by actual metrics, means that they should be paying the WNBA money because they lose them a crap ton of money every year.
Was that recent?
Yes.
That they did that?
Yeah, it was last week.
Wow, it's giving Megan Rapinoe.
I mean, technically, only Caitlin Clark should have a shirt that says "Pay us what you owe us," and it should say "Pay me what you owe me."
She makes plenty of money on brand deals.
I mean, that's how they all make their money on the brand deals. So again, guys, hit the like button. So what are we getting into today? Well, Fantastic Four does come out tomorrow. I did sadly buy my tickets today.
Oh, I'm surprised.
I'll show you what I did. This was me when I bought my Fantastic Four tickets.
Just the the sigh that, you know, shows you've really given up.
That was me. I bought my Fantastic Four tickets for tomorrow.
Best one since Endgame.
Oh yeah, I will be fair. People whose opinions I respect are saying that it's a good movie, so I will take that with a grain of salt. I don't know if I'm going to review it. If I do, it's going to be out of some weird sense of moral obligation.
Completionism?
I have none of that.
No, that's not true, because you've skipped plenty of Marvel movies that have come out recently.
You should
skipped Thunderbolts. You skipped the last Ant-Man one.
I mean, that one was more like I didn't know. Like that was like what, 2 years ago now. I think I didn't have a car at that time. I was like, I just don't feel like going.
Really?
Wasn't it? It was like 2022?
I don't know. I don't remember now.
I don't know which one it was. I skipped Guardians 3 and then
I was
watched
really
it
unhinged for going to see that alone, like on my own.
Yeah, what were you thinking?
I don't know.
But Fantastic Four is coming out. I will be going to see it tomorrow, but none of that matters because right now they're in the middle of the press tour for this film. And let's face it, Vanessa Kirby just can't seem to keep her hands off of Pedro Pascal. This woman is engaged with child on the way.
She is with child. She fell pregnant. And
I like that. I like the phrase "with child," much like I like the phrase "on her person."
She's just all over Pedro. She is thirsty, fiending for the Pedro. And
so we put a poll up.
I'm like, who's gonna tell her? Like he doesn't swing that way, right?
Oh, we'll never know.
Well, the poll is relevant to that question. Do you guys think, based on the evidence we will show you, that Pedro and Vanessa Kirby are having an extramarital affair?
Technically, it's not extramarital because neither of them are married.
Extra engagement.
Extra engaged affair.
She might as well be married. They're living as if they're married. And the answers are no, he's gay, or yes, he's bi, which was all Brett's idea, and I loved it. So we had to do it.
So we've got. We will show
Honestly,
you that today.
I think yes. I think the answer is yes, regardless, because what they're doing on camera is bad enough that most people would consider it cheating. Like normal people would consider it cheating.
I mean, I don't know if there's any romance on screen. I know the movie starts supposedly with
no. I mean in the interviews.
Oh yes, absolutely.
Everything I'm seeing them do in the interviews,
is
stuff that normal people
like if you walked in on
cheating.
your significant other doing that, you'd be like, I'm freaking out of here.
So it's kind of not even a rumor, but I guess the rumor is just like, is there some kind of secret relationship going on? He's grabbing the baby bump. It's getting really weird.
We're going to talk about that. Also, look, there was discussions being had, coincidentally also around Marvel at the premiere for this, because Daphne Keane, who was, of course, X-23 back in Logan, and Xochitl Gomez, who played America Chavez, have shown up to the premieres, wearing, very, very modern clothes for women.
Okay.
Adult human females. Revealing clothing, and people were having a discussion. They're like, these were just children.
Like all of the comments, no, half of the comments were saying like, I thought she was 12, and then the other half of the comments are basically saying like, I'd hit. Like
it's weird because Daphne Keane looks like she's 30 now. She went from looking 12 to looking 30.
She looks great. But yeah, kind of a Millie Bobby Brown situation going on there. And then Xochitl Gomez literally just turned 18 this year, I believe.
So people are having these debates right now on X. It's a little bit like having the debate is gross. So we're gonna talk about it. Also, Mary is of course very excited for the upcoming Devil Wears Prada sequel, and she wants to talk about the clothing. I have no opinions.
I am not excited, to be clear. I am not excited for this sequel. The Devil Wears Prada is one of my favorite movies. They're giving it the remake treatment. They do this to everything now, so I'm not surprised. But the wardrobe really is what offends me the most.
I imagined it would be.
It's just like she's going out in a moo-moo. There's like a pantsuit situation.
There's no decorum anymore.
It's just no effort. They don't try anymore.
So we'll talk. I mean, literally, I mean,
it's a movie literally about fashion, so I expect a certain result, okay? And I'm not getting it.
You'll give Wonder Woman the pass, or Lois Lane the pass, because it's not a movie about fashion. And even then, you didn't give her a pass.
Barely. She didn't really get a pass. That's the costume designer's fault.
All right, if you're ready, we can go. You ready?
Yeah, let's go.
Let's go for it.
Both celebrities and influencers have a reputation for giving their babies extremely weird names that do not age well and probably destine their children to a life of bullying and ridicule. Trisha Paytas being the most recent example. So her first daughter is named Malibu Barbie. And her second child is a son that she named Elvis. And now her new baby, who was just literally born yesterday, is named Aquaman. Not kidding. That is his actual legal name. Some people theorized that she actually gives them fake names that are like stage names so that the public won't find out their real identities, which is a clever way of hiding their identity.
You give them such a ridiculous name that people have to believe it's real, because why would you make that up? And then secretly their name's Kenneth Kenningson.
Who knows, right? Like, it could be a ruse.
Bill Johnson.
Knowing Trisha Paytas's reputation, I have a feeling this is just genuinely what she wanted to name her children.
She couldn't even name the kid Arthur Curry, which is, of course, Aquaman's actual name.
First of all, just look at that picture. Pull up that picture of her and the baby. She 100% photoshopped the baby.
The smile.
Show me one newborn child that is smiling from ear to ear on their first hour of being alive.
They're literally adjusting to the trauma of being in the world.
And then there were all these memes about Ozzy Osbourne waking up as Aquaman Paytas. And
you went pretty viral yesterday. I think you pretty much ignited that whole discussion.
I maintain I was the first person to make the joke, even though it was distasteful. I had to jump on the opportunity, but a lot of people did. And this is a detail I wasn't aware of yesterday. Jason Momoa actually hosted Ozzy Osbourne's farewell concert just a couple of weeks ago.
It's like 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon, except for it's 6 degrees of Trisha Paytas.
That's really strange.
Yes, it is.
And people were joking about this, saying, how does a celeb die genuinely every time Trisha Paytas gives birth? It's literally always on the same day, sometimes even the same hour, and same gender too. What's going on? So with her daughter, Malibu Barbie, that was the day, I believe, that Queen Elizabeth died.
Yes.
Then this was not the same day. I think it was months apart, but her second child, Elvis, was jokingly referred to as the reincarnation of Pope Francis after Pope Francis died.
Yeah, I looked at that. I said the math's not mathing.
The math isn't mathing on that one. But this one is the strangest coincidence by far. And then people were debating about whether you can come up with a good superhero name to actually give to a child.
Did they find one?
All of the suggestions were terrible.
Oh.
Bane, Robin, Shuri, Wanda, Thor. Don't name your child Thor. Spectre, Booster, Vision, Falcon, Blade, Hawkeye, T'Challa. I guarantee there are some children named T'Challa.
Probably.
Logan, Storm, Kal-El, Shuri. Lots of suggestions. All of them are bad, in my opinion.
You know what?
Do you think that there are any good options there?
No.
I just don't.
No. You know what?
I don't like the whole.
I just started watching Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. again last night. Go with, Agent Coulson. Name your kid Agent Coulson or Sky. Sky is an okay
name. Are these on your list? Do you have a list? No. We have a list, but that list remains private.
That will remain private. It did, however, this reminded me of the fact that every member of my immediate family was born on the date of an attempted or actual presidential assassination. So I don't know about someone being reincarnated.
That is even weirder than the Trisha Paytas situation.
Yeah. So April 14th was Lincoln. July 2nd was Garfield. July 13th was, of course, when Trump was almost assassinated, and then on November 22nd, JFK.
So that's your immediate family?
That's my immediate family.
That is so weird.
Yeah. I haven't checked in the rest of the family, but
That is so freaking weird.
So, and of course, now we have to take this into account once me and Olivia have kids, because I don't want anybody to get hurt.
You have to schedule these births.
We're going to have to make sure that none of them happen. I don't want anybody getting hurt at all.
Or the birthday of your child is just going to predict the future.
Yeah, that's scary too. What would be a good name that comes from there's plenty of superheroes with regular names that they don't have to be. It doesn't have to be the superhero name. Oliver Queen, perfectly normal name. Bruce Wayne,
I mean, a lot of people would think I'm not in a position to judge if they saw my baby name list.
You have a very long name.
I have a very long name. I have 4 middle names, which I'm not going to even disclose. But I also have a very long potential baby name list in my notes app. That is the Catholic version of naming your kid Aquaman. Like, so many obscure, weird saint names that you've never heard of before from like ancient Rome. So people would think I'm a weirdo too.
Yeah.
And then I saw another take that said, I think it's morally wrong to name your child something like this because it low-key sets them up for failure early on.
Well, no. If you want to take the positive perspective on this, is it turns them into stronger individuals earlier.
Builds character to get bullied for having the name Aquaman.
It builds character.
I feel like it's something other kids will find cool, like when you're in kindergarten, and then in middle school you're gonna get bullied for it. Yeah. Hardcore. So yeah, maybe it's a character building exercise, but he is a Nepo baby. Being Trisha Paytas's child, you're probably gonna be, shielded from most of that.
I mean, I just think maybe a return to regular names. Like, I understand that celebrities do it because, celebrities are weird art nerds. But if you're just John from accounting, your kid should not have a weird name.
I listened to a podcast interview with a woman who analyzes baby name trends. Okay. She does this as her own, sociological study over time, and she said that celebrities tend to pick weird names like, Apple or Blue Ivy or North or whatever, because it's kind of an insular status symbol.
Because they don't have to worry about being bullied because they're going to go to a private school with other people named Tallulah.
Like, they don't have to be worried about, being hireable or being normal. It's a signal to the rest of the celebrity elites that they're in a class of their own. Mm-hmm. But there is a return of more old-fashioned names actually going on.
Yeah.
I think that maybe one of the most popular ones for boys these days is Theodore. Which is old-fashioned.
Yes, it is. Theo is, I guess. What do you think has sparked that? Is Theo Vaughn getting people to have kids? And
Theo Vaughn has a long name. What is his actual name? People were talking about.
I don't know.
He has a family history of like Slavic nobility or something.
Oh,
I don't remember the details.
Like me.
Someone in the chat will know. I also recently posted about the absolute tanking popularity of the name Mary in this country.
And I did see your post that was like, you can judge a society based on how popular the name Mary is.
I stand by that. And you've seen the popularity of the name Mary went from #1 for many decades in this country to the year 1965. It just plummeted. And now it's kind of going up and down, but very rare still.
Because we don't have a religious society anymore.
That's definitely part of it.
I would imagine that that's a big part of it. And maybe people just think too highly about themselves now that they should give their kids some unique name.
Or a unique spelling of a normal name, which is even worse.
All spellings of Ashley. It's like the meme.
Or Kaylee or
of all the
whatever
I mean,
else.
I felt that way about Kaylee McEnany. I was like, is that how you spell that name? Because it's like...
Her last name or her
first
name?
No, her first name.
The EIGH at the end.
Let's just put a ban on all EIGHs for names, unless it's like all of them. Like if it's Ashley with an EIGH, run, my friend. She's gonna be driving an Altima. She's gonna be a nurse's aide, and she's gonna have kids named Aiden, Braden, and Zayden. And
Jaden
and the tattoos
and Landon.
The tattoos are going to be mid at best.
One of the comments said, I don't know, everyone was super stressed about the Kayleys, and now one of them could be your lawyer. So I guess people will just accept it as normal.
I mean, female lawyers and all.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Look at my lawyer dog. Her name is Kaylee. I ain't never getting out of jail.
I'm going to jail. All right. You know what? Just don't name your kid Aquaman. That's a horrible idea. It's a horrible idea. All right, let's move on.
So there has been discussion amongst the fan base of My Chemical Romance about their recent on-stage theatrics, the stunts that they're pulling. They're being called woke, but they're also being called demonic. And there were some comparisons drawn to Astroworld, which we'll get to in a second. But recently, a fan of My Chemical Romance that showed up to their show in San Francisco posted about getting allegedly drugged by one member of the audience who she was not able to alert to the police. And this guy is just on the loose, trying to inject people with some mysterious liquid.
This is like fodder for like a New York Post headline where it's like syringe-wielding maniac terrorizes.
I'm wondering why isn't this getting more coverage? I'm assuming in the coming days it will, or it should. So she posted this on TikTok, a picture from very far away of the alleged assailant, the guy who was wielding the syringe.
He looks like he would be a backup. He would work backup for Oasis.
And it's effed up because this fan is disabled and in a wheelchair, so he probably saw that and thought like this is an easy target. So she said, went to MCR in San Francisco last night. This was on July 19th last week. In my wheelchair, and this guy tried to inject me with something. I yanked away when I felt it, so he didn't get the full dose in. I got mild effects. He took off after I figured out what happened, so the cops couldn't find him. After medical cleared me and I got to watch the last 2 songs, I spotted him down in the next section in this photo, but couldn't find any cops or staff to point him out. I'm so glad I'm safe and was with my best friend, but this is terrifying. I know this is a long shot as I have no following and my picture sucks, but anyone know this person? And I don't think anyone has been able to identify him thus far. And then she added a second follow-up post saying that she has been seen and tested in the ER.
That's terrifying.
She said, I filed a police report and have my case number. They have pictures of him and pictures of my injection site. Once my report is transferred to the San Francisco Police Department, I will contact the park. And there were some comments that like reminded me of what the possible reason for this is, like the motivation. They said you should get on PrEP ASAP because this guy might be trying to inject people with HIV positive material. That they said the doctors telling you that this wasn't necessary was so negligent. You need to get on PrEP. You may not test positive for weeks for HIV, and preventative measures are everything. So that's kind of terrifying. And it reminded me that just last month, there was a music festival in France where 145 people reported being stabbed with needles at these events. There were arrests made of 12 suspects after 145 reported being pricked with syringes during the country's annual street music festival this weekend. That was back in June. And I don't know, like they never reported on what this was, but it was speculated to be Rufinol or GHB used by attackers to render victims confused or unconscious and vulnerable to assault.
Yeah. Especially when you think about what the alternative was. Those are both horrible options. It's either, GHB, roofies, or for some reason tainted HIV.
Who knows?
Yeah. That is absolutely terrible. Also, let's face it. Is there any band in the world, especially My Chemical Romance, that's even worth the risk? No. It's just if anything, it's a weird form of terrorism to kind of.
It's biological warfare.
It's not even trying to necessarily harm you specifically, but just to prevent people from wanting to go out and feel safe in public.
Yeah, people are talking about why is Gen Z staying home and not supporting live music.
Why like, is nobody's going to stab me in the neck on my couch?
Yeah, like it's partly because they can stream everything now, but also because they're afraid of, getting attacked by some syringe-wielding maniac, as you said. And this, of course, is a callback to the rumors that surrounded Astroworld in 2021. And this was the Travis Scott concert at which 8 of his fans died, including a 14-year-old boy. That was mainly because of trampling and physical injuries, but there were also rumors, even spread by police at the time, that some assailants were injecting unsuspecting victims with some mysterious substance, and that was backed up by the Houston Police Chief Troy Finner.
Yeah.
He mentioned one of the narratives surrounding the event was that an individual was injecting people with drugs, and there were reports of a security guard feeling a prick in his neck and subsequently falling unconscious. However, he followed that up at a press conference and said the theory that he originally perpetuated was not true. He said the security guard was struck in the head and went unconscious and woke up in a security tent. He says that no one injected drugs in him, so he wanted to clear that up. But I don't know. I'm leaning toward the conspiratorial, and regardless of whether the rumors about syringes were true, I definitely am leaning toward the explanation that Astroworld was somehow, you know, a ritual of some kind. I mean, that's just where my mind goes, and I definitely think that Travis Scott was aware, contrary to his claims, of what was going on, and I think that he was kind of intentionally standing down and letting the chaos ensue, not only for his own press, but also maybe his own esoteric, ritualistic behaviors.
And his career didn't suffer at all. He took like a month off and went right back to the way things were.
And I noticed like it was just last month that Astroworld theories were spreading once again, mostly on TikTok, and people were revisiting all of the coverage of it. And I think it might have been because a new documentary came out, but they had a documentary at the ready, like literally days later, which is insane.
The crazy thing is I almost have to hand it to like the PR people of the world, the guy who the Travis Scotts of the world go to, and they're like, bro, my career's over. He's like, no, it's gonna be fine. Like, he's like, bro, like, people got trampled to death at my show, and I'm like on camera, like totally okay with it. He's like, no, man, you got to take the big picture.
Did they like blame it on the Live Nation or Ticketmaster like overselling tickets beyond capacity?
I don't remember.
I don't remember what the explanation was, but it was definitely oversold.
Yeah.
Like oversold is the capacity for the venue. And at the time, Travis Scott basically said like it's, a tragedy, but I didn't know what was going on. Like he was saying he couldn't hear what people were saying because he was up on this rig on stage far away from everyone.
Yeah.
But yeah, he said he did not realize the severity of the situation during the concert and would have paused the show if he had known how bad it was. I just find that hard to believe.
Yeah.
And he also said through a representative that he had been inaccurately and wrongly singled out and highlighted that he stopped the show multiple times and was unaware of the events that were unfolding.
Yeah.
I just don't believe it. I don't buy it.
Was it a Travis Scott album that just beat Justin Bieber? Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
To number one in his latest release. So he's clearly doing fine. The only upside I could possibly see for this is if you had a drug test at work and you were about to fail, what you do is you say, I was at a concert the other night and somebody injected something in my neck. I have no idea what it was.
I was just like, are the San Francisco police going to even do anything about this? Because we know it's a hellhole and they don't properly enforce the law anyway.
This is what happens when people stop going to the Luigi Mangione play in San Francisco and they go to a concert instead.
What kind of freak does this?
I have no idea.
The girl in her post even said like, I have sympathy for like someone who's in such a mental state where they would do this to someone. Like,
what?
That doesn't excuse literal attempted murder.
Crazy toxic empathy that causes people to forgive the person who murdered their spouse or their child, and then you're like, you think you're doing something good for society, but every rational person is like, no. And that comes from like 30 years of Hollywood making movies about stories where the bad guy was actually just a good person who did something bad, and this person has to show their incredible levels of empathy, and it's shown as a good thing when we understand that that's not the way the real world works.
Yeah, I would say it's one thing to forgive, it's another thing to excuse.
Wait, what was the thing that we were just talking about last week? It's like the lady did the victim of rape went on stage with her rapist to do like a TED Talk.
Right, yeah, that was about a decade ago that they went on that press tour, but they like co-authored a book about it together.
Okay.
Yeah,
whatever.
Really strange behavior. Hopefully that guy gets found out, but knowing the incompetence and I would say weaponized incompetence of San Francisco police, it's doubtful. Yep. So just watch out. If you actually do go to any of these shows, they're still on tour.
Plus, they're probably not allowed to arrest him anyways because it's San Francisco. All right. What would you like to see? Cringe or cute of the day?
Let's see cute first.
Cute first. Okay. All right.
Just like switch things up.
We'll switch it up here. What's that? This one here. Yes. Actually, you know what? I'm going to maybe we save that one for. Oh, wow. Phil's going to be Phil's not going to be here this week, but there's so many dogs.
You saved the dogs for Phil. That's nice.
Phil likes the dogs. We'll do this one. This one's from Roni. Says, introducing the PCC crew to Lord Simon, the chonkiest and grumpiest of floops. He judges us unsightly peasants with the same intensity as Ghost Empress. Long may she reign.
Aww.
He's definitely judging your Pokemon's lineup.
Very cute. I love blue eyes on cats.
Yeah, that's a very cute one.
Very beautiful.
My favorite is
Simon.
so Chloe sits around and, scoffs at you. And then if you sit down next to her, she will come up and ask for pets up until the moment that she doesn't want the pets anymore. Then she's mad at you.
It's only on her terms.
Yeah, it's only on her terms. It's kind of a toxic relationship. We're kind of in a toxic relationship with Chloe. It's not untrue. I don't think Olivia would disagree. All right, cringe of the day. Here we go.
This is, for context, a Zoom meeting between Finn Wolfhard and a fan of his from a few years back.
Oh my god. Finn?
Yeah? He's kind of giving Ezra Miller vibes here for a second. Oh my god.
How are you?
I'm good.
Can you hear me all right? We have like a full connection, kind of.
Yeah, you're like, you blew out your mic.
Oh my god. Are you real?
Yeah.
Are you real? Oh my god. Okay, oh my god.
I hate you sometimes.
It's a girl you paid $350. Like, if you paid for a virtual meet and greet, why are you surprised that you're meeting the guy that you paid to meet? Hello? Hello!
Hello.
Um,
That might be the worst.
really?
I
I didn't expect that, yeah.
I have a particular, there isn't a human being on Earth, not a human being on planet Earth, that will get that reaction from me at all. Ever. Not one.
I mean, maybe if I met, like, Jesus.
Even then, I think you should keep your cool.
Yeah, even then, I would try to hold it back.
You don't want to freak him out.
Yeah.
That was, it's Netflix. Like, this isn't, this isn't even, somebody who's, a big movie star. He's, a Netflix
But,
star.
to that generation, that's their Tom Cruise, I guess.
I would, no.
If you met Tom Cruise, I believe you would keep your cool. Yeah.
Yes, I would. And amongst anyone, because I have a modicum of self-respect.
Right.
That was horrible.
If I were Finn Wolfhard, I'd be like, I regret agreeing to this.
Well, I mean, I think he feels bad because he can't match her energy. The best celebrities are good at faking it. He can't match her energy.
Well, is he supposed to start screaming?
Yes. Yes, he's supposed to pretend like it matters just as much to him as it does to her.
Yeah, that's not a good look for anyone involved.
He's like, she's gonna skin me and wear me as a suit.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
Let's move on.
All right. Fantastic Four is just about to come out, and the cast is still on the press tour, and it's just getting more and more uncomfortable for everyone watching as Pedro Pascal and Vanessa Kirby get more and more physical. They are straight up canoodling in the middle of interviews, and I would just feel so uncomfortable if I were trying to interview them about the movie, and you just see Vanessa Kirby stroking Pedro Pascal's neck and, running her fingers through his hair. Chrissy Mayer posted the clip, and it's one that's getting a lot of attention right now.
Let's watch
for good
this.
reason.
I want you all to remember that this is a engaged woman.
And by the way, I would also feel really uncomfortable as Joseph Quinn in this situation, just like feeling like such a third wheel.
Especially since we know that, you know, his character is the ladies' man of the group.
Right.
So.
Yeah.
These are gorgeous. I think
What
that's
is
my
she
favorite
doing?
image so far.
Just our hands.
Yeah.
Like,
as long as you
was
don't
She's
have-
just
Very first
caressing
You don't have to
him.
see my face. Listen,
And everyone is supposed to act like this is normal.
like, is this supposed to, like, if I was to give this, like, the benefit of the doubt, is it, like, because the characters are married and this is, like, what they call a showmance? Because it doesn't feel that way.
No.
It feels like she's tripping on acid and she's, like...
No, there was something very different about the showmance between
it's like
Sydney Sweeney
it's
and
like-
Glenn Powell compared to this.
It's like she's on MDMA and she's super tactile and she's like, oh, you have pretty hair.
I mean, hopefully she's not on drugs because she's
pregnant.
like 8 months pregnant right now, so
She's
that
like,
would be really bad.
Oh, these hormones just hit different.
There is also a video posted by Marvel Studios on X, posting just the couple, and he is grabbing her by the arm and also like
Hold, please.
feeling her baby bump.
Yeah, like that's not okay, right? Like that's not the like. It's different if she's like, "Do you want to feel the baby kick?" That's different.
Oh, this post from Pedro Pascal Daily shows him putting his hand on her bump, like as if he's the father of the child. Do you have that?
Let's see here. Do I have that
From the Pedro Pascal
Yes.
archive? Yeah, that's just weird. And everyone is like, is her fiance, the father of her child, okay with this? Because I wouldn't be. Most normal people wouldn't be, and most normal people would consider this to be cheating. And a lot of people are speculating that it's not just what we see on camera. There's possibly some kind of secret relationship going on between them behind the scenes. Other people are saying this is impossible because Pedro Pascal is gay, right? But apparently not.
I have no idea what he is. I just know that if I were her future husband, you know, he should be pissed.
And this also goes against the narrative
I'm sorry, this one more than the others.
Yes.
You could make the argument that posing for pictures, though distasteful, whatever.
Right.
Okay? This is like she's doing it without even thinking about it. Like they were doing this the whole time on set and she's just reverting back to prior behavior.
You'd think if you were cheating on your baby daddy
these are
fiance,
gorgeous.
you'd
That's
be
why
better
I
at
think-
hiding it, right? And this is also on top of her like nuzzling him
In the other segments.
in the red carpet. Yeah. But this goes against the narrative that Pedro is the one instigating the inappropriate PDA. Although this clip that you sent me about Pedro Pascal's social anxiety was hilarious. Do you have that?
Yes. This was this made me laugh.
I've never seen this before. What the Why? Why is he doing this?
It's
To
like,
this random Us Weekly reporter?
You know what it's like? It's like the Vin Diesel interview that one time where he kept telling the lady how beautiful she was.
Yeah,
and he was
but,
clearly
like,
out of his mind on drugs.
Even that wasn't as bad because he wasn't touching the woman, right? He was at least sitting in his seat.
No, I mean, but you like I could just imagine him like inching closer.
And then in this other clip, Pedro is in the middle of an interview with Vanessa and she wants to go walk away from him and he wants her to stay, like they're attached at the hip.
Yeah. Here they are. She's like, bye-bye.
Questions about you.
You can't leave me alone that long. That's a little too long.
We need it.
Come
Baby.
on. Very codependent, very codependent. Just like I'm very codependent on film.
Ay.
Yeah, he literally said that they're in like a codependent relationship.
I think my favorite part is how so I've watched several now of somebody says, Mary, have you never seen Breaking Bad? The actor from that.
I have seen the
Yes.
actor. I had not seen the clip of him
But-
licking an interviewer.
I've seen several several reviews for Fantastic Four, and most of them say that I've seen say it's good and Pedro Pascal is good, even if he's weird. Like he does seem to be the quintessential actor these days where people are willing to set aside their distaste for his annoying politics and his annoying social media presence in favor of admitting that when he does his job well, they're okay with that. There was like a picture like a video the other day where somebody's like the Pedro Pascal effect needs to be studied, and it was like they were at one movie theater and their camera smash cuts to The Materialists and then to Eddington and then to Fantastic Four. He's got like
He's in everything.
He's got 3 movies in theaters at one time.
Yeah, he's clearly making bank, but I don't think it's because of popular demand. I think he's getting astroturfed. One thing that could hinder Vanessa Kirby from giving a good performance in this movie, though, is the number of fillers that she's gotten in her face and the aggressive Botox treatments.
So let's be fair to this photo. Is this one of those things where somebody hollowed it out like the like the Lauren Sanchez photos and made it worse?
This is just what Vanessa Kirby looks like on video as well. That feel when you sign a contract that you're supposed to appear in MCU movies for the next 10 to 15 years, but you bog yourself before the first movie is even out. Why did she do it, bros?
So she's doing it she's like, I want my face to look the exact same for the next 15 years, so I got to do all of the work now.
That's not a good strategy. I didn't know she was in a contract for the next 15 years.
I mean, they're probably making that up. There's probably no actual confirmation on something like this.
But you are right that it's getting good reception. The audience score is not in yet on Rotten Tomatoes. The critic score is sitting at 87%.
Oh, is it? So it was 88% here. And if you want for contrast, this is the list of all 4 of the Fantastic Four movies, at least last 4. And it's the highest rated out of all of them, with, of course, Fantastic Four from 2007, which I do like. I do like the 2007 one at 37%. 2005. I'm sorry. The Rise of Silver Surfer is higher. I don't know if I agree with that. The 2005 one is at 27%. The Rise of the Silver Surfer is at 37%. And of course, the much ill-fated Fan 4 Stick is sitting at just 9%. A movie so bad the director disappeared, never to be seen again afterwards. But it kind of puts things into perspective for Marvel, who right now, between what happened with Captain America Brave New World not doing the numbers that it wanted to do, or with Thunderbolts, New Avengers not doing the numbers it wanted to do, finishing at like $380 million at the global box office. They're trying to supposedly attract actresses like Margaret Qualley, who's a big name these days. And she's like, yeah, I'm busy. I'm sorry. She gave them the polite brush off that all women have to learn at a young age when I guess men aren't approaching women these days, but this is the tactic. This is it's not you, it's me that women use, where she says, I don't think I want to commit to a franchise. It just seems like a lot of time. I'm scared. I don't think she's scared. I think she just doesn't want to be involved with Marvel for the next 15 years.
I mean, that would be a valid reason. I think it was a similar comment about Star Wars. I forget which actor was asked if they would appear in Star Wars films, but they were like, yeah, I'll pass. I'm okay on
Who was that did that? It was an actress as well.
Yeah, I don't remember which one.
I don't remember who it was. There was some relatively well-known actress these days that was like, yeah, no, I'm gonna...
But think about hearing a comment like that, 20 years ago or something. That would be unthinkable. To turn down an opportunity.
Well, there was also an interview with Brad Pitt. I think he did it with like the Kelseys.
Oh, yeah.
Where they were like, superhero movies. He's like, don't do it. He's like, you don't have... Brad Pitt is kind of that last bastion of an actor who doesn't have a franchise. He never went the superhero route. Mm-hmm. Like even Tom Cruise had Mission Impossible, which of course isn't a superhero, but it's a superhero, basically. Brad Pitt's like, don't do it. You're going to box yourself in. And that's how I feel about Glenn Powell. Batman, The Dark Knight Rises notwithstanding. He's doing a lot of things. It seems like he's going out of his way to not be a superhero guy.
I feel like because Tom Cruise is a mentor of his, he was told by Tom Cruise not to go down that route.
It was Mikey Madison that said no to Star Wars.
I think Jamie Lee Curtis also said something similar about a role in the MCU. She was like, I don't know, I kind of don't want to spend 12 hours in a green screen warehouse for a year. I'll pass on that.
In the chat, Christopher says Mission Impossible is not a superhero franchise. But bro, by the time that last movie is over, he's basically a superhero. Yes, he is a super secret agent. It's not a superhero, but he's everything but a superhero.
Okay.
All right, let's move
read
on.
these Super chats. Shane H. Wilder said, "Happy Wednesday, Brett and Mary. I dropped the PCC Spice Girls meme. Brett as sporty, Mary as baby, Phil as scary, Tate as ginger, and Kellen as posh. We were wondering who would be Posh Spice. I don't know if Kellen really has that vibe.
Should have been Charles.
Charles
Should have been. Yeah. What is? I saw something else here that was funny. Crusher says Glenn Powell is just awful and his eyes are too close together. Well, that's why I love him. We are in solidarity of brothers with eyes close together.
Homeslice said Vanessa Kirby got to be the baddest movie star. Baddest in a good way, or
I think they mean in a good way. I just thought this was funny from Nina Infinity. Says, genuine question to married women. Do you touch your gay best friends like this? I've never touched another man that's not my husband like this, gay or straight.
Yeah, I don't think it really matters.
It's a very fair question. You should not be touching another man like that. Doesn't matter what his orientation is.
Even if it were a female co-star, that would be weird. So,
all right,
that doesn't excuse their behavior.
Let's hold off on the rest. We'll come back, guys. We're like halfway to a crisis party. Let's go.
Some of the former child stars of the MCU showed up at the Fantastic Four premiere. First and foremost, Daphne Keane, who was only 11 years old when she was in the Logan movie back in 2017, and now she's showing up on this red carpet as a full-grown adult, wearing full-grown adult clothing that is selected for these celebrities. It's quite revealing. She was showing a lot of cleavage, and it prompted some really weird responses from the public who are not used to seeing her as an adult. They're just going to have her cemented in their mind forever as 11-year-old Daphne Keane.
The top comment says, ain't she like 15?
My first thought was, wow, she gained some weight since The Acolyte.
I forgot she was in
Which
The
was not
Acolyte.
that long ago.
I think it's because I had to block out The Acolyte from my brain.
Maybe the alien makeup distracted me from her real age, but here were some of the comments. Is she there to promote her OF?
Oh.
Another person posting a photo of her doing Pilates, or a video of her doing Pilates.
Yeah.
Showing off her body. Another one said, more like fantastic pair, am I right, guys? Another one said, wasn't she a kid 2 years ago? I mean, legally, yes. She's 20.
This guy says she can X my 23.
Yikes, man.
It's giving MTV back in the day with the countdown to 18 for some of the people.
One of the comments just literally says, amazing knockers. Okay. She's 20, but she definitely looks more mature for her age. And don't get me wrong, though, she is absolutely stunning. A lot of people were saying she doesn't even look 20. She looks 30.
She looked 30 to me.
But maybe that's just the way that her face is structured. Depends on each person. I think she looks good, but I also wasn't, attached to her role as a kid. Like, I didn't.
It's almost like Hollywood never, outside of, if we're not talking about the people that aren't the perverts in Hollywood, which is plenty of them, like they never knew how to actually engage in stories about kids that grow up in the industry and become adults without turning it into something weirdly sexual.
Well, it's because they do get sexualized. Yeah. Maybe not Daphne Keane, but I would say definitely the ones that came out of the Disney or Nickelodeon pipeline for sure.
Yes, absolutely. I mean, and then they used that to their advantage as they grow up because it became how they contrasted their childhood image with their new image and used it as a marketing ploy to sell records.
Xochitl Gomez was another former child star of the MCU who made an appearance at the premiere.
She does, in fact, look like Flo from Progressive. Yeah,
with this wig that she's wearing. She's doing a little twirl in this skimpy outfit.
Is that a wig?
Looks like a wig to me, but I could be wrong. She's wearing this extremely tiny mini skirt and a top that has a cutout in the chest, and she's now 18. She turned 18 this year, I believe, because I recall it was just last year that we were discussing her discovering AI-generated pornography of herself online, and also her mom coming across it as well, and that they had tried to find recourse to get this stuff taken down.
There is no recourse.
They were unable to, and that was incredibly heartbreaking to hear about, her coming across that, especially like not really being an established celebrity, you're not used to that. But the comments on this post were even weirder than the Daphne Keane post.
This one particular, because these are right next to each other, this one says, she's a literal child, and then under that says, best ass in the MCU.
Yeah.
It just lets you know where we're at societally.
Yeah, and another one, which I believe is referencing the controversy over her AI-generated deepfake porn. They said, okay, I see why they tried to pre-order. They're referring to her as a product at the age of 17 that is on pre-order before turning 18, which I find disgusting. Another one said, always wanted to beep a lesbian. So, not sure what that is supposed to imply. I didn't think that she even was gay, but whatever. Lots of comments that were sexualizing her and the fact that she is just barely an adult at this point. And you were pointing out the asymmetry between the way that these actresses are portrayed on screen in the movies compared to how they show up on these red carpets. And you see this time and time again, including with older actresses as well. They're wearing like these frumpy outfits, like Lois Lane
this was
in the
happening,
movie.
and she's probably the best example of it recently because Rachel Brosnahan has done lots of promo for the movie with her wearing very, very different outfits from what she wore. And the same thing happened with Isabella Merced, the lady who plays Hot Girl, on the red carpet, and everyone's like, why isn't she wearing this outfit in the movie?
Right. Yeah. Well,
because
Rachel Brosnahan was wearing this like teeny tiny mini bodycon dress in one of their interviews, and then you go see the movie and she's like dressed like a butch lesbian. She's got
it's because her character is punk rock. Her words, not mine.
Apparently that's the backstory that makes it all make sense. But I do think it's a little more on the creepy side when this happens with child stars who were introduced to the public at a young age, and then they have to kind of break out of that image.
I mean,
over time.
And the red carpet stuff is prime for that because they all do it. Like, it's one of the biggest contradictions in Hollywood that not all of these movies that make some type of commentary on the concept of the male gaze or how women are portrayed in media, they have an explanation for why it's different. The explanation is, of course, that in the movie, you're being dressed by a man or you're being written by a man and then portrayed in the eyes of a man in a sexualized manner. Whereas when a woman goes onto a red carpet, the idea is supposedly that they are of their own volition choosing to do that. It skips the idea that, of course, in the movie, they would also have to be doing it of their own volition.
Well, it's funny because in reality, they're having their costumes chosen in the movies and their outfits chosen on the red carpets by gay men. In both situations,
with
most
clipboards.
likely. Yes, gays with clipboards. So it's not really this patriarchal bigwig who's puffing a cigar in the executive office at Warner Brothers choosing to objectify these women. It's kind of just built into the system. But yeah, it's really disheartening to see the things that people were saying about Xochitl Gomez.
But it never ends. So again, for all of Gen Z's bluster about the way things were back when the Olsen twins were about to turn 18, and it was at MTV that did the countdown to 18 to some of these celebrities, which is of
course
for
the Olsen twins or other ones as well.
Other ones I don't remember if it was them specifically, but that was a thing, right? There was a heavy focus on the sexualization of kids growing up.
Yeah.
And for all that things have changed, they haven't really changed all that much.
At least because the internet has replaced that instead of, an outlet like MTV. It says Britney Spears was on the countdown for her birthday in 1999, as well as the Olsen twins. And then they also mention Kendall Jenner being the subject of countdowns by media outlets like TMZ and Hollywood Life. But yeah, I mean, did MTV ever issue like a mea culpa for that? Or
I mean, MTV's like, look, nobody watches us anymore.
No one really cares.
We lost.
We can just like memory hole it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Very strange.
I just, it feels like no matter how much things change every generation. It was like when I was reading that article yesterday about it's not the Gen Z stare. We're just not putting up with we're not affected by your discomfort. As like, you're not changing the world. You're just a dick. It's like how somebody in a previous generation was also just a dick. Like, things haven't changed. Like, I think the internet makes people believe that society truly is evolving faster, and people haven't changed that much. Social media, by and large, has just forced a form of coercion onto people to try and get them to behave the way they want. But then you see these events, and you're like, okay, things haven't changed that much, because the people are in the comments section saying all the lewd stuff that was being said about Britney Spears back then. People would like to believe that they've broken the mold, that things are different now, that people are more
progress,
that people are more highly evolved, and people aren't more highly evolved.
We have the same brains as human beings that lived in caves and tribes, tens of thousands of years ago. So
nothing is, no matter how much things change, they tend to stay the same, or at least it feels that way.
Okay, let's read more of these super chats. Shane H. Wilder said, I never got the weird names, although Moon Unit and Dweezer Zappa are still the craziest. I didn't know about Dweezer.
I didn't know about that one. I knew about Moon Unit.
It's still shocking that Frank Zappa never drank or did drugs.
I mean, that's not hard to believe. Some people are just weird.
Yeah, he's like high on being weird.
I mean, that's the literal weirdo. Like, it's like anybody can be weird if they're taking a bunch of drugs and then going...
Yeah.
It's the real weirdos are the ones who do it for the love of the game. Mm-hmm. They were just born that way.
Yeah. Everyone's weird until a stone cold Frank Zappa pulls up to the function.
Yeah. It's like, he's like, yeah, well, your weirdness stops when the drugs run out.
Do you believe Trump when he says that he's been sober his entire life? A lot of people say that he's lying about that because of, just the circles he ran in and going to all of these celebrity parties.
I mean,
they were all like railing lines of coke in the 90s, and
I believe it about as much as I believe that he is a devout Catholic, which is not at all.
Well, he doesn't claim to be Catholic, though. He does claim to be just like a mainline Protestant, I guess.
I believe that as much as I believe him when he talks about religion, which is like, I believe that at a certain point he probably stopped as he got older. Mm-hmm. He might have grown out of it. But do I believe that he spent his 20s not doing lines of cocaine on boardroom desks?
Or like not even having a sip of alcohol as well?
I don't necessarily buy it.
I think he said that was because his father was an alcoholic, if I recall correctly.
Again, the world is usually not
No, it was his brother. His brother was an alcoholic, I believe.
I don't know if I believe that he treated his body as a temple the whole time. If he did, he would have gotten the tax breaks for it.
Yeah, like you see the old... VHS footage of him and Jeffrey Epstein in the 90s, and you're like, are you telling me nobody in this clip is on drugs?
Like, I mean, he's pretty thin back then. I mean, he got older. People gain weight as they get older. Maybe it was just, what do I know?
I don't know. Maybe being Trump is all the drug that you need.
Well, here's the thing. I said, I want all the presidents, whoever it is, to get all the CIA super drugs that they can offer. Like, I want to know that the president can take care of business because there is some, limitless pill that, like an NSA agent that looks like Bradley Cooper comes and hands him the day he takes office. They're like, here's NZT. We need you to be awake for 4 days while you hammer out peace deals with foreign countries.
That's something that we were discussing on IRL recently, actually, because of the health report that they published on him, and him getting like diagnosed with what was it?
It was like chronic venous
insufficiency or something. And I was saying, bare minimum is that the person running this country can stay awake for 17 hours at a time, which is not actually that long, but at that age, it's quite demanding. And they have this special drug that they use on like Navy SEALs or whatever who on stealth missions that keeps them awake for long periods of time without a crash or without making them manic. And I believe it's the one that Harley Pasternak was talking about in that infamous interview from his work at the Canadian DoD.
I would like to learn more about this.
I don't think it's accessible to the public.
Not
unless you're Kanye West.
I want to learn more about it in general.
Yeah. Adams, it's a narcolepsy drug, I believe.
Oh, so for the people so they don't pass out while driving.
But it might be like some sort of like powered up version of it. Adam said, name your kid the superhero Napoleon Dynamite. No thanks. It just reminded me of what you said, Brett, about needles in phone booths. Scary. Yeah, like maybe that did happen to at least one person, or else the old wives' tale wouldn't exist, right?
I mean, it was like when they were talking about razor blades in the apples on Halloween. I don't know who. I don't know who actually ate the apple they got on Halloween, but
And they didn't see like the obvious
it's like sticking
slice
out.
in the apple. Pop Culture Junkie sent us a 20.
Thank you.
Great story. 12-year-old Daphne Keene filming Logan after scene where they yell obscenities at each other in the car. Jackman went to apologize to her mom. No need, said her mom. She just called you a see you next Tuesday in Spanish.
There you
I don't remember that part from Logan. I only half watched it.
You know,
Is that real?
That's I mean, I think she might have said that. She said that off air.
Oh, okay.
Or after yelling cut. That's, you know, huge. I'd like to think that Hugh Jackman was like, you know, regal and cordial and was trying to make sure that she wasn't, you know, traumatized.
Unlike Ryan Reynolds filming Deadpool with his little daughter, like screaming curse words.
Yeah.
You know, if you're not willing to say dick and balls, sweetie, we're just gonna have to find another girl to play this part.
Gonna cut you out of the inheritance.
Uh-oh. Yeah. It's coming out of your college fund, sweetie. But I do feel vindicated in my irrational fear that someone is going to try to inject me with black tar heroin.
I'm going to read this one just because it's relevant to the Trump discussion. Easy E says, Brett, you're talking about Adderall. It exists.
There's another half of that.
I know.
Chat.
The president for sure has it. If not, Pervitin, what is it that which is what they used in World War II. Look, yeah, but Mary said without a crash, and eventually with all uppers, you eventually crash.
Yeah, it operates unlike a stimulant.
Also,
it doesn't have a stimulant effect.
Also, I don't know if Trump would be the size he is if he was taking Adderall constantly and not eating.
Good point.
Unless he's like also hitting it with lines of heroin to like put the appetite back in.
Just tons of Coca-Cola.
Look, I've been there.
He on the Coca.
I've been there,
Cola.
bro. Don't do it.
Coca-Cola.
Don't do it.
Hello.
Say no to drugs. Hello. All right, let's move on. Looks like we have a lot of time to just hang out today.
Yeah, we will. Okay, so The Devil Wears Prada that came out in 2006 is one of my favorite movies. I hate the ending. That's a whole other conversation that we can have. But, of course, this movie is getting the Hollywood remake treatment. And they're not just remaking it, they're adding a sequel in present day with all of the original cast. They've confirmed Anne Hathaway to star, as well as Meryl Streep, Emily Blunt, Stanley Tucci, Kenneth Branagh, and Lucy Liu, a whole list of stars joining this cast. And it's going to be based on a second novel in the series called Revenge Wears Prada, The Devil Returns, which sees Andy Sachs, Anne Hathaway's character, now an editor at a bridal magazine, reuniting with her old boss, Miranda Priestly, who is played by Meryl Streep. And then you see Emily Blunt's character go, head-to-head with Miranda Priestly for power over Runway, which is the movie's version of Vogue magazine. Mm-hmm. All of that is besides the point, but you get the picture. This is a movie about fashion and the fashion industry, first and foremost. And we're currently seeing first looks at the film set and the outfits they're putting Anne Hathaway in. And I was horrified, actually, to see what they've chosen to put her in. This is a crime.
So let's start with this one here.
Yeah, and this is posted by Popbase, by the way, which says, new look at Anne Hathaway filming The Devil Wears Prada 2. You know it's bad when even Popbase isn't saying you stunned. Anne Hathaway is not, I was stunned in like a bad way when I saw this. She's just wearing a pantsuit and a vest with no top underneath.
Props to her for still looking quite young.
She looks great. She's a vampire. I will give her credit where it's due, but the outfit is not doing her any favors. It looks very frumpy. There's another one that was posted by Popbase that gives a fuller look of the outfit. this is not just devoid of sex appeal, it's also devoid of any appeal to the women who will be watching this movie. I don't think this is really giving what it's supposed to give.
Why is it that women are so into baggy pants these days?
The baggy pants are a scourge on humanity. And you'll see another pair in the next photos where Anne Hathaway was spotted on the first day of filming in downtown Manhattan. She's wearing these
it's so
gigantic jeans with, like, basically these are Chanel branded Birkenstock sandals.
It's really interesting how
Awful.
Like those pants have become as popular as they are, considering they do absolutely nothing for anybody.
No, they don't hide being fat. They don't flatter you if you're skinny.
Yeah.
They do no one any favors, and yet they're just ubiquitous. You can't even find skinny jeans these days because everything is so baggy. There's another set of photos from filming where the first one shows her in this, basically a muumuu, a multicolored muumuu and a bucket hat.
Looks like a stained glass window.
Not in a good way.
No.
Like, I see what you're trying to say there, but, like, no. And then the next one is by far the worst that has come out yet. She's wearing this...
She's on her way to work at an airport.
She's wearing coveralls.
She's unloading bags at an airport.
She's wearing zip-up coveralls with the huge chunky sandals.
Rick in the chat says, making a fuss over nothing. In my opinion, she looks great. Nobody's saying she does not look great. They're saying that the fashion, Mary's saying that the fashion
The outfits look horrendous, and Anne Hathaway looks good because she's Anne Hathaway. Doesn't mean that you can get away with dressing her in, you know, basically what looks like a less slutty version of the Blue Origin space launch outfits. It's not
funny how there's a more slutty version of it.
Yeah, and then you get a better view of these outfits in the next post. This muumuu is a crime. I mean, she has a great figure. Why is this a thing with this enormous bucket hat? And I mean, the coveralls really were like the last straw for me.
Yeah.
And then I would like to compare it. I posted a comparison from 2006 compared to 2025. This is what they had her wearing in the original movie after she learns about fashion and has this little makeover scene. She comes into the office wearing this outfit, which I think is stunning. And of course, she looks the same age as she does today because she's a vampire.
She'll show up in a red carpet wearing this for the movie, just not in the movie.
These are extremely thigh-high leather boots that are skin tight with a mini skirt. So automatically you're already on the right track. Okay. And then you see the coveralls, and it's just like, what are we doing, folks? And then there's a listicle that I found. We can scroll through some of the most iconic outfits that they put together for the original, and it's just overall more feminine.
The hell with the coverall. Look at that sidekick she's holding.
Yeah,
she's got a T-Mobile sidekick.
Yeah, the worst part about this remake is, or the sequel is, they're going to be using iPhones instead of the sidekick.
I was like, if I made movies, I would limit it to iPhone 4 and 3. I would make the movie anachronistic, and all the phones would be iPhone 3s and 4s. Nothing
just
newer
pretend
than
that everybody is aged 20 years. But this is just more classic, more feminine, more thoughtful. The accessories obviously are curated for this movie very specifically, and it was a tribute to the fashion industry. And I don't know what the hell the sequel is supposed to be. Like, I just don't understand it. What are they gonna have Miranda Priestley wearing? Another, like, I mean, Meryl Streep is older now. Are they going to be dressing her like Hillary Clinton?
Probably.
Emily Blunt is also extremely well dressed in the original. And this is Emily Blunt pre-ruining her face with fillers and Botox, to the point where when I saw her in Fall Guy a couple of years ago, it was literally unrecognizable and distracting. I couldn't even focus on what was going on in some scenes because the mountain of filler in her cheekbones was all too much. And the reason why this is happening is several creative industries have completely collapsed, and they don't care about excellence anymore. Them being Hollywood, the fashion industry, and the art world, generally speaking. Like, they all have turned instead to this faux intellectual posture where everything has to be defiantly ugly in order to be considered real art or real expression that's authentic.
But I mean, that's not even technically true because they show up to the red carpet in outfits that are supposed to be considered.
Yeah, like let's compare when this movie comes out and they go to the premiere. What is Anne Hathaway going to be wearing on the red carpet?
She's not going to be wearing a muumuu.
She's not going to be wearing a muumuu,
coveralls.
and she's not going to look like a mechanic. Okay, that speaks volumes. It speaks for itself.
This might be a better example of wokeness than any feminist
This is woke.
plot
Yes.
line in a movie is this type of thing where it's like it's ugly for the sake of ugly.
Yes.
Because somehow they've tricked themselves into believing that being intentionally unattractive somehow makes it deeper or more intellectual or more meaningful than if
Right.
something is just pretty to look at.
Absolutely. I do think that this is sort of an expression of woke.
Yeah.
Maybe people are going to think I'm reaching because it's not like they made Anne Hathaway trans or fat or gay or whatever, but I think almost this is more insidious because it's harder to clock, you know, and you start sounding like a raving lunatic like I am right now if you try to argue the point. But it is woke.
Yeah.
To dress a beautiful, slender woman in clothing this unflattering and masculine is woke. I don't know if it's a feminist gesture or it's just something that we don't even question now.
In the chat, Sam Tesla says, wait, how is that woke? It's just shitty clothes. Do you want to explain it better?
Okay, well, one feature that is unmistakable in woke ideology is a celebration of ugliness and of mediocrity. And you can see this in any modern art these days, or people make jokes like, oh, my 5-year-old could have made this. The reason why that stuff is propped up as high art now, aside from just like money laundering operations, is because it's seen as this pseudo-intellectual attempt at
deconstructing.
Yeah, it's basically deconstructing everything because they come from a culturally Marxist perspective. And they have done the same thing to fashion that they've done to all art, which includes movies and TV shows, but also art that you see in a gallery at a museum, and also fashion and everything now. Everything.
There's very little in the way of celebrating what was once popular 20 years ago, and a lot more in the way of deconstructing what was once popular 20 years ago for the sake of creating some type of artful commentary on why that was a bad thing here in the West.
Yeah, and it's like, it's so nonsensical, especially because when you watch the original movie, she's in a relationship with this boyfriend of hers who doesn't understand her new job and all of the expectations that are placed on her for working at a fashion magazine. And he puts down the fact that she is wearing all of these luxury items and cares about designer clothes now. But like, if it were all about the male gaze and like sexualizing her, like that wouldn't really follow, would it?
Yeah.
It's actually explained in the movie by Miranda Priestley herself that Anne Hathaway's character grossly underestimates the importance of an industry as huge and far-reaching and impactful as the fashion industry, as basically a way to make herself feel like she is above it intellectually. And she's like, well, you think that you've made these choices of what to wear for yourself, but actually people like me choose it for you in this long line of, you know, handing it off to runways that hand off to department stores that hand off to discount stores that hand it off to you, and you think that you're expressing yourself.
Yeah.
When in reality, it's an industry that has chosen your clothing for you.
Yeah.
So anyway, all of that is to say, yeah, it is woke. It's incredibly woke that we're expected to, I mean, it's Emperor's New Clothes, well, except she's not naked. We're expected to think that this is like high fashion and high art, and this is beautiful to look at, when in reality, it's objectively not.
Yeah.
It's objectively ugly. And, you know, maybe people are going to say it's not that deep, but fashion is definitely a lot deeper than you realize, and it definitely impacts us when we see it on screen. And this decision to dress her this way is one that was given hours upon hours of thought and curation by the experts of this industry. There is a team of costume designers getting paid to make these decisions.
Yeah, I was gonna say, is it the same group that did the first one, or is it?
I mean, probably not, just because it's been 20 years, but
Somebody died.
regardless, there is an entire department dedicated to making these decisions, and they have very thought out reasons for why they choose the outfits they do. And to think it's not that deep is just kind of reductive.
Oh yeah, that's true of, even productions that have nothing to do with fashion.
Yes.
How you dress a character is an extremely important part in getting across what they're trying to represent.
Which is exactly what I was trying to point out about Lois Lane in the new Superman. Of course, the way that they dressed her in the movie is something that they agonized over.
And it is fair to point out that they address it in film, meaning that they give an explanation as to why her personality is that way. So at the very least, it falls in line. It's not just dropped in there and never addressed as to why she doesn't look like a professional.
Not that
or at least different than the average professional.
Yeah, not that I accept that explanation as a justification to waste such a beautiful woman as Rachel Brosnahan on butch clothes, but Anne Hathaway would be in the same category. She doesn't deserve this.
All right, let's go to Super Chats.
Shane H. Wilder said, my mom originally wanted to name me after my grandpa's. I would have been Sylvanus Grant. Whoa, that's really cool.
That's the coolest name ever.
Yeah, that sounds like a movie character.
Like, you sound like you would be part of a long line of werewolves.
But my dad wanted me to be my own man, so I'm Shane Houston. Okay, no offense, but Sylvanus Grant is like way cooler. I know you can't go back and change it now. I mean, I guess you could if you really wanted to, but yeah, she was onto something.
I saw somebody in the chat. I'm sorry I can't see the name now, but I saw somebody in the chat mention that they checked out High Potential and really, really liked it. I'm glad you really enjoyed it. I'm really looking forward to season 2. Also, Mary might like it just for the fashion that Caitlin Olsen's character.
Really?
Caitlin Olsen's character wears the most
Let me look it up.
She looks like the most toxic, hot mess person you've ever seen in your entire life.
And you think that's appealing to...
I'm saying it's visually distinct in how it portrays her character, which is kind of a hot mess.
Let me see here. Nothing's really standing out to me.
She's working with the cops, and she always looks like she just left a nightclub.
Okay, I kind of see it. Yeah.
It's a very distinct look.
She looks cool.
Yeah.
Wait, she's not an Olsen though, right? Because it's spelled differently.
I don't think she's not related
spelled
to
with an O instead
Mary
of an
Kate
E.
or Elizabeth.
Yeah.
She's from Always Sunny.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I never watched Always Sunny. Easy E said, does anyone else hear big pharma executives' eyes turning to dollar signs and making cha-ching sounds? Just me? In regard to what? The My Chemical Romance story? Or
I don't know. This is what Caitlin Olsen, so everybody else is wearing a pantsuit or an actual suit, and she shows up looking like the woman is just a little bit too old to be in the club.
I kind of like that.
And that's her, but she's...
the jacket is cool.
But she's also like a mom, and she loves her kids, and she's kind of a hot mess, but she's a good-hearted person, and it goes to distinguish her from the... Like, if she came in wearing a pantsuit, it wouldn't matter, because the whole point is that she's a consultant and she's not a cop, so she kind of lives and plays by different rules in them. So that's just a visual aesthetic that's used to separate her from the people that she works with in the show.
She reminds me of Chanel Oberlin from Scream Queens.
There you go. I still need to get into that.
You do. Easy E said, plot twist, it's actually Ozempic injections. Skinny Girl Summer is back and it's no longer optional. Sounds like a direct-to-TV horror drama. So this guy is just running around the MCR concert, forcibly injecting women with Ozempic.
You will be thin. You will be thin. My other thought was
dark.
Or somebody gets HIV and they go to their husband or wife like, honey, I was at the My Chemical Romance concert. I didn't cheat on you.
Yeah, but then they're like, oh, you're a fan of My Chemical Romance in 2025. I'm a file for divorce. I'm out. Shane H. Wilder said, is that a fan meet and greet or a possession? It's both.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a Venn diagram that's almost a circle.
Like, it's too much. Like, it was like, again, like I'm just not that way. I can't. It's actually probably a character flaw of my own, where I should be more like willing to be
understanding.
No. Like, I should be more willing to be.
Oh, like more excitable
about other people. I'm just not.
No, I agree
like it's
with what
I
you
think
were
it's an
saying
ego
originally.
thing on my own part. Like, I would never allow myself to embarrass myself. I'm sure I've embarrassed myself plenty, but I'm not going to embarrass myself in that specific way about a celebrity who I think highly of. Like, that's insane.
But it's rude. Like, it would be rude to approach anyone, be it over a Zoom call or face to face like that. Like, that's going to make them uncomfortable, and out of courtesy,
yeah,
you're not going to have some kind of emotional outburst. So I agree with you.
Then I'll cloak it in a more positive light for myself. I'm being respectful to them by not.
Well, you've been resistant to asking for selfies.
Yeah.
With IRL guests.
Only a couple of times. I did it recently with Anthony Brian Logan. It was like the first time in like 2 years.
Well, you just have to tell yourself, like, this isn't the only time I'm going to meet this person. I'm going to have another chance, and yeah.
In the chat, Traven says, I'm so happy Brett is also a cop drama slop enjoyer. Yes, I am. Do you watch SWAT? No, so I've seen too many edited clips of, like, for a lack of a better term, wokeness from SWAT. I've heard that the first 2 seasons weren't like that.
What qualifies in SWAT as woke?
Maybe I'll pull up a clip and show it tomorrow. It was to do with a traffic stop and being stopped by a white.
Driving while black.
But I gave up.
ICE raids.
I gave up on police slop after 2020. Like, they got too excited about George Floyd to watch any of that stuff. That's what I heard happened to The Rookie. I was like gonna start The Rookie, and then I heard that after George Floyd, it was basically cops being like, I hate being a cop and it sucks and we're bad people. And if you don't understand that those in law enforcement are going to take a different perspective on policing than people who are critical of law enforcement, this happened in the later seasons of Blue Bloods, and I like. At our wedding, I will ask for praise for sitting through the final 2 seasons of Blue Bloods with Olivia. I force her to sit through so much crap she probably doesn't want to watch, and I selfishly just don't have the stomach for stuff I don't like.
You're going to mention that in your vows.
And the last 2 seasons of Blue Bloods were so awful that I just wanted to just jump out a window. I did. I was like, and it's worse when it's something that's been on the air for a long time, because you look at something that had good quality to start and degrades over time. Blue Bloods was like a hard line. Season 8, it got really bad. And from then on, it was garbage.
To what we were talking about earlier about, like, the celebrity meet and greets and stuff, I just have to vent this because of Ozzy Osbourne dying yesterday. Some of the social media posts I was seeing about it were, like, really... It gave me secondhand embarrassment. Like,
why? Because they really liked him?
No, it's not because they liked him, because they're just a bunch of people, like, writing essays on Instagram and, like, making some stranger's death, like, about them in a really weird way.
I mean, I'd have to see examples of what you're talking about.
Like, I just don't believe that you're genuinely, like, crying because Ozzy Osbourne died, especially if you're in your 20s. I don't believe that for a second. I'm sorry.
Okay, it's less believable. It's less plausible for somebody in their 20s, but the idea that an artist's death can affect you is very, very common. I mean, that's why being famous is such a powerful tool for people, that you can have, especially with music, you can have a deep effect on a lot of people.
Well, I know that's the music, though. You know, like, the music isn't going anywhere. I don't remember what celebrity death it was, but I remember a couple of years back we were talking about a celebrity death, and I just said, like, I don't know, I don't really believe that all of these people posting these emotional posts are as invested as they're saying they are, especially, I think it was when David Bowie died. I saw tons of, like, people even younger than me saying that they were devastated over David Bowie's death, and I'm like, Really? Like, you expect us to buy that shit? Like, really?
I imagine those are the people who say I was born in the wrong generation.
I just don't buy it. I don't know. Call me a cynic.
Taryn Taylor in the chat says, Brett, check out Surreal Estate, a surprisingly good sci-fi show. Yes, I keep seeing the, not ad, but whenever I go, it's Amazon Prime or Hulu, one of those two. It's, you know, I check them enough. And I keep seeing advertisements or like the opening for Surreal Estate. Maybe I'll check it out.
I've been still getting, I swear, non-stop ads for Ozempic or other, you know, like GLP-1 drugs. I'm constantly getting ads for Tinder, Hinge, and Bumble. I'm constantly getting ads for BetterHelp therapy.
Yeah.
Because they just clock me as fitting the, you know, female demographic.
I mean, also, it's what we look at for work. It's probably got a lot to do with the stuff that you click on for work.
It's on YouTube, though. I, like, basically just watch podcasts on YouTube, and I'm getting targeted with ads for Ozempic and therapy and dating apps. Like, this is what they want for us.
Rita in the chat says, Southland was Kino. That's one of those ones that I've never been able to find without ads. And now I might check it out because I've got a rule. I won't watch movies with ads, but I will watch TV shows with ads, especially if it's one I haven't seen before. If it's one I've already seen without ads, I don't want to then re-experience it with ads. But if it's a show I've never seen, I will stomach the ads. I felt that way when we were watching Third Watch, which was like 6 seasons of 22 episodes, and on Roku, that's a lot of ads. But I'll
45-minute episodes.
Yeah, 45-minute episodes. I'll check out Southland when I can get around to it. And I did give up on. Somebody also mentioned Bosch going that way. Yeah, I gave up on Bosch after season 3.
You can find plenty of those on ad-free Tubi.
Ad-free Tubi.
Yeah.
We love that one.
Shane H. Wilder said she is Pedro's beard. Really?
Yeah.
I mean, he could find plenty of willing beards that aren't pregnant and engaged, but that is a possibility.
It's a very problematic beard, if so.
Like, he'll risk it all. Easy-E said, Brett... Oh, this was the chat about Adderall that we went over.
We had a 20 on Rumble from Grunmeister. Says, I'd say give The Rookie a try. Other than season 3, they kept things pretty tame as far as political influence. Also, I would name my daughter Rita if I ever got married.
That's a cute name. I like the name Rita.
After Rita from Dexter? I hope not.
I know there's a Saint Rita.
So, okay. That's good. So I would look up, like, was season 3 like when George Floyd happened and they just like got sucked into the trouble of it, to the brain rot of it all? Perhaps I will give it a shot. I will probably do so just because I like Nathan Fillion a lot, and Nathan Fillion is great. But right now I've kind of been, if I'm being completely fair to her, I've been kind of terrorizing Olivia with my constant switching between TV shows lately. It's worse than normal. So what it is like, I'll watch a couple episodes at a time of any show for one night. I'll watch one show. The next night I'll watch another show. And at the moment, Olivia doesn't have one that she's watching. Usually we'll switch off, and then when it's her turn to pick, she wants to watch the same thing the whole way through until it's done. And I'm like, my God.
That's me.
I like that's
that.
Crazy. But, you know, I've been going in between. But I restarted Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. last night, which I never finished. I watched like the first couple of seasons, and as it got more serialized, I got less interested. I was surprised how much the Joss Whedon humor, when it's actually written by Joss Whedon and Jed Whedon, doesn't bother me as much. There's something charming about Daisy and about Coulson and about Fitz and Simmons that precludes the fact that if it was being written today, I would probably like, fuck this shit, turn it off. But it's
Jed Whedon, that's
his brother.
Okay, I wasn't aware of that.
Yeah.
One of the chats on Rumble says, Mary, you need to understand that some of these people had a real impact, Bowie, Ozzy, on us old folks in our early years. I understand that, especially for musicians, that their work has a real impact on people. Not discrediting that, but what I am suspicious of is the parasocial aspect of it all, and the idea that anyone could really mourn someone they never knew.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't believe. I don't believe that's a genuine reaction. unless you have a parasocial connection to them, and we should do everything we can to not form those parasocial bonds. And I definitely don't believe the long drawn out emotional essays about Ozzy Osbourne or David Bowie that are getting posted by Zoomers. Like, I just don't.
You haven't even been alive long enough for this stuff to have that much of an impact on your life.
No, I don't believe it. Dingus Khan of Gongolia said, we moved up to northern Minnesota when I was in high school. There was a wave of drug needles being placed under the gas pump levers.
What?
We checked every time I pump gas since moved home after a year.
Maybe this is why, because I'm from Minnesota, so maybe this just permeated all of Minnesota culture.
That's horrifying.
That is terrifying. My goodness.
But, like, think about it. Like, what is the motivation for the person who's, like, planting those needles? Like, what a fucking psycho.
Mars Monkey Max said the Chloe Bennett ruined the show for me. He says, I don't hate Chloe Bennett, but she wasn't a great cast for that show. What was it about her as... again, I don't remember much of her as she gets her powers in later seasons. Like I said, I fell off right but quick. When it was, like, episodic, that's me. I'm like, one single story. That, like, it's kind of like a side effect of not, like, wanting to finish series. Like, I like it when the episode is self-contained as opposed to a serialized story. What was it about her that you didn't like? Was it to do more with her as she got her powers, or was it just the way she portrayed the character? I thought it was, like, I found her and I found Brett Dalton as Ward charming. I remember Ward's turn and enjoying that, but... You know, I feel so bad for Olivia every day. She's like, what is this? Like, who is this character? Like
well, Person of Interest started out as self-contained episodes and then became more serialized.
And even then, though, like, season 4 is my least favorite, which is when it kind of fell heaviest into that. Because season 3, it did that where it switched between the two plots. And season 4 is my least favorite of the seasons. Though upon a rewatch recently, I don't dislike it as much as I did before.
Adam said, hello, Moo Pwetzel.
That's what she says when she puts on the moo to film her scenes.
Hello.
Hello.
Shane H. Wilder said, I like my name. The story behind it is too long to tell here, but it's solid. My paternal grandpa had the very old school name of, I don't know how to pronounce this, Royale? Sylvanius?
Sylvanius is just such a great name.
I might put that on my list. I really like it.
Somebody says reset the POI clock. I didn't bring it up, so technically
I was the one who reset the person of interest clock. That was my fault.
Yeah,
sorry, you guys.
That's the way it is. Somebody says that he named his kid Rita, and then somebody else said after Rita Repulsa from Power Rangers. No,
I've met a Rita. She was cool. I do want to mention here that we dumped a topic prior to the live stream.
Yeah.
That was just a little too stupid for us.
We don't
have to go through it right now, but, like, I just wanted to mention it because it's dumb. Benedict Cumberbatch was recently doing an interview about his preparation to play Doctor Strange in the MCU. And he took the opportunity to complain about the fact that he had to eat 5 meals a day to prepare for the role, and it was so disgusting.
I could be feeding children in a third world country with the food Marvel was making me eat. Now, you are correct, though, in your dunk on him. Like, all that work so that he can go...
Literally, like, so he can move his hands around in the air rhythmically. Like, that's how goth people used to dance at, like, goth clubs. They would, like, do this shit, like. So, and also he's not even, like, shirtless in the role at all. He's wearing these giant trench coats, so you would never know the difference. And he was talking about how, like, Hollywood is so grossly wasteful. That doesn't make any sense.
Shut up, dork.
You ate the food. It didn't go to waste. Yep. You didn't throw it in the trash. You ate it.
Like, here's the thing. On a different day, I would be like, I'd want to analyze, like, what that means for them, about how they feel about consumption, and what, it's a communist belief that, you should only get a certain amount because other people are in need.
He literally said, like, I could feed a whole family.
But
with
instead,
the
I
amount
just
of
want to
food
say,
I ate.
Shut up, dork. Like,
it wasn't in us today.
Yeah.
Honestly. But did he continue playing Doctor Strange and collecting those paychecks? You betcha that he did.
Comatose for Real says, you literally talked about fashion and horrendous with horrendous takes and defended ugly outfits for 30 minutes. You left stupid miles back. Did we? But the outfits that we defended, weren't ugly. They were the ones from 20 years ago.
The new ones were the ones I was calling ugly. Not sure what you're talking about.
I was surprised by how many people had opinions on the fashion in there, because as a dude, I'm just like, baggy pants are ugly, and that was the only take I had.
This is the thing, though. Like, people are more opinionated about fashion than they're willing to admit, I think. That's why my videos about fashion on Instagram have caught on so well, because there's a hater in all of us.
And when it's not tied to like sexualization, it's one where people feel like they can have an opinion and it's not necessarily the hottest take you're going to have.
Sure.
But then people get really, really, really opinionated about it.
People get really offended. Like, under the comments of every video I've posted about fashion on Instagram, I've just been getting like scores of people saying like, why are you criticizing their outfits? It's not hurting you. First of all, it is hurting me. It's hurting my eyes to look at.
Yeah.
And if they want to dress in, underwear outside in public, I literally can't stop them. If you want to wear that, go right ahead. It's at your own peril. But people get really like sensitive about that shit. Bookstore Thor said Brett's continue watching screen must be crazy.
Okay, can I actually tell a story?
Go ahead.
I started to, one of the reasons I asked weeks ago, I said, is there a way to delete stuff off the continue watching screen? Because mine are all so over the top. And the thing is like, so Olivia made like her own like sections on my Hulu so that she can have her own, probably because mine is so overblown. But we like, I never made one of my own on her Disney.
Okay.
And I felt really guilty about filling
just, like,
it with
spamming
with
the
like
watch
a
list.
And last night I had a cathartic moment when I realized I can delete things off the continue watching. So I actually felt a weight leaving me as I deleted things and sort of unmangled her continue watching on Disney Plus. Granted, we almost never, like, I started watching Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. on Disney Plus, even though it's on Hulu, just because I was like, we have it, let's use it. Because what happens is I start watching a Marvel movie, I get through 20 minutes, I turn it off. Unless it's Winter Soldier or Civil War, I put on a Marvel movie, I love the idea for about 10 minutes, and then I turn it off. Or I watch a couple episodes of a Netflix Daredevil or of a Netflix Marvel series. I watch a couple episodes and I remember I've seen these a bunch of times and I turn it off. And even those are on Hulu now. So yeah, my continue watching screens are a battlefield. They're a war zone. And
they should have like folders.
They, well, some of them. So as I learned yesterday, Disney allows you to delete. Paramount allows you to delete. I think there's a way to do it on Prime, but it's way more complicated. You should be able to remove things from your continue watching screen on all of the streaming services. Maybe Netflix does as well.
Especially if you watch like weird shit that you don't want anyone to know about.
Well, I mean, it's just me and Olivia have like vastly different tastes. So it's like, I feel bad like spamming her folder with, no thanks.
Well, there should be like a personalized one though on the same account. Like Brett's watch list, Olivia's watch list. I mean,
that's why they have like separate, like you can make separate, like we have our own logins.
Like I know you can have your own profiles, but I don't know. I feel like that's too complicated. Shane H. Wilder said, Rull is pronounced Rull, LOL. Yeah, well, I've never seen that name before. The E's kind of threw me off.
Yeah. High
Voltage 75 said, Mary, how would you feel if Bieber died instead of Ozzy? That is so funny that you ask that, because it's a question that I asked word for word to myself last night. And I concluded that if Justin Bieber died yesterday, I would be like, oh, that's sad. And then I would move on with my life. Obviously, because of our job, I would look into it and I would form opinions about it, and all of that is immaterial to how I really feel. I wouldn't really feel like a deep sadness or really maybe any sadness over Justin Bieber dying, because I mean, it would be objectively more sad because a younger person dying is more of a tragedy than an old person, but I wouldn't really feel some type of way about it. Am I a sociopath? I feel like that's actually a more normal reaction.
That's
because
probably a more normal reaction.
Because I have no relationship to this person.
Yeah.
I like his music. I would listen to his music still, but I wouldn't be like posting an essay about, you know, Justin Bieber's impact on my life, or the fact that I was a believer and I had all of his merch and stuff like as a kid. That wouldn't really cross my mind to share something like that.
Yeah.
So
Kanye 2028 says, Brett, why are you in an endless cycle of rewatching Marvel movies? It's like 3 times a year I try one, and then I fail, and then I don't, and it just sits there. Now I can delete them all.
Well, they must not be very good then. Because if you don't want to rewatch something, I think that's the benchmark for what makes it a good movie.
I think the issue for most of it is like they do better, like with most movies, it's better to watch it on a big screen, and I just I don't have it in me. Like I said, I can watch Civil War, and I can especially watch Captain America Winter Soldier all the way through every time. The rest of them, not so much. And to a lesser extent, the first Iron Man movie. I
was considering going to see Eddington in theaters, but it's just so pretentious, and I don't like Pedro Pascal.
Not your thing.
Is that Joaquin Phoenix?
Yep.
Okay, yeah, I just can't. Like, especially because it's about COVID. Like, miss me with that shit.
Yep, I can't
I don't
bring myself to want
that.
to sit there and watch it. Though I've seen, like I said, I saw some people really like it, and I saw other people dislike it. But I understand.
They're also re-showing the original I Know What You Did Last Summer.
And Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles to celebrate its 35th anniversary, which I may go see in theaters as well.
The Smurfs movie is out.
Apparently it got really bad reviews.
I can imagine. Yeah. Leo is still playing. Total flop. How to Train Your Dragon is still playing.
One of the good things about going to see Fantastic Four tomorrow is I got a showtime that wasn't 9 p.m. I got like an 8 p.m. or an 8:30 showtime, and that's hard enough to find these days.
I'm probably gonna go see the Freaky Friday reboot, the Freakier Friday, rather.
Yeah.
That's this weekend, but I don't know if I can really like stand the idea of driving that long. It's like not worth it for me unless I can camp out in the movie theater with like all of my snacks, you know?
Adam Lee says, do only thing you need to rewatch is Lord of the Rings and Man of Steel. It reminds me of a really funny post yesterday on X. I don't even remember the rest of the post, but the start of it said, I was rewatching Man of Steel for personal reasons. I was like, what? Did you feel like you had to qualify why you were rewatching it? Like, would there be other than personal reasons as to why you'd be rewatching it?
Like a sexual thing?
I don't even remember what the rest of the post was. I just got hyper fixated on the for personal reasons. And I said, what? It made me laugh. See if you can find it.
Let me try to find it. Personal reasons.
There was a really
you needed an excuse.
There was a really funny meme too where somebody said if Zack Snyder directed Superman 2025 and it was the scene of Pa Kent going like this, of Kevin Costner going like this to prevent Clark from helping him, except it was the squirrel from Superman.
Yeah, I'm not finding it.
It was really funny. I was just like, bro, you don't need to like justify yourself. If you want to rewatch Man of Steel, you can rewatch Man of Steel. You can just do things.
I'm just seeing people say that they dislike James Gunn for personal reasons. So
that makes more sense.
I still haven't even watched Lord of the Rings movies for the first time, let alone rewatched, which is that's a
problem. It's a long time.
It's
commitment.
a huge commitment. So
Man,
I'm just kind of leaving that on the to-do list.
Man of Steel. Popbase says Trisha Paytas reveals she has had her tubes removed following the birth of her third child. I have no idea if this is real or not.
What?
It's not poo craves, so it's real.
Well, sounds legit then. I guess she's capped it at 3.
She's like, I'm calling it quits.
Damn.
Damn it. I can't find it here. It was so funny.
I was gonna say earlier that I think Trisha named her son Aquaman because this is so weird. So if you don't know the lore, Trisha Paytas used to have a podcast with Ethan Klein, the H3H3 guy, and it was called Frenemies. It's long since, collapsed. They had a falling out. But she actually started dating Ethan Klein's brother-in-law. And now they're family, basically. So she was talking about his brother-in-law Moses, and he's like an artist.
Okay.
Whatever. He's obsessed with water. Like, that's his thing. That's his like hyper fixation. This guy is like obsessed with water and making art about water, and it's all he thinks about is just water.
You should work for Aquafina.
And maybe that's why he likes Aquaman. I don't know.
That's kind of weird.
There was this episode of Sweet Life where Brenda Song's character has a new boyfriend who's a lifeguard, and he just only wants to talk about water.
Okay.
It reminded me of that.
Shane H. Wilder. We're getting pretty close. We're almost at a crisis party, guys.
Let me find that one. Mary is the smart one going on IRL Thursdays. She gets to skip the horrible MCU slop like Fantastic Four, although not watching Lord of the Rings should be a sin.
I mean, but the thing is like, sometimes you just don't have to go. Like, if you don't want to go, you just don't have to go.
Yeah, I mean, if there were a movie that I
thought we were
needed to review, I wouldn't go on IRL on a Thursday night, but
I thought we were going to see it, and then we just never got tickets.
Well, I asked you about it many times, and I was like, do you want to like go to Fantastic Four like on that Thursday preview and review it? And you were like, oh no, and then like suddenly a day before you cave. So
yeah, I caved.
I didn't know. I would have gone.
Okay.
Yeah. But I ask you about these things now, and then you're
okay.
always
How about
like,
this? Are there any other movies you want to review this year?
It's hard to, pull them off the top of my head. Like what is?
We should review Five Nights at Freddy's 2 when it comes out.
Is that like really gonna be as big of a deal as the first one?
Like I
feel like it's just like
I'm sure that I'm at least gonna review Mortal Kombat. I'm not gonna make you go to Mortal Kombat. I can't imagine anything you'd be less interested in than Mortal Kombat.
Is there a point in reviewing a sequel anyway? Like, have we even reviewed a sequel before?
I don't know. Have we?
Oh, I guess we did review the third Sonic the Hedgehog movie, but that kind of doesn't count. I don't know. I feel like the FNAF sequel is like not really going to be that interesting to review.
I don't know what else is coming out this year, but I'm sure.
Here's a better question. People in the chat, what do you want us to review? And we'll take that into account. Because I've asked before, I didn't get like any unified answers.
Yeah.
We didn't review Thunderbolts. It's just funny because we used to review every new Marvel movie. Yeah, we don't really do that anymore.
Nobody cares.
No.
It's not really important. Maybe I'll watch Happy Gilmore 2 and review it, though that's probably just going to make me sad.
Mary, Mortal Kombat is a must review.
For Mary, it is absolutely not a must review.
I wouldn't have all that much to say about it. I kind of just, my brain turns off when I see action scenes.
Yeah.
We have another super chat from Adam Lee. Mary, you should do a reaction for Lord of the Rings Extended Edition. Oh, and just like film myself for like 12 hours.
As your body withers away.
Yeah, I don't know if that's really sustainable, but I'll let you know if I ever get around to it. I will eventually. Just not right now. Not in the right state of mind to like dedicate a weekend to that.
Happy Combat Mortal Gilmore. Yes, I will do that.
Someone mentioned the Predator movie?
Yeah, I mean, so I didn't look into it. Is Predator Badlands getting a theater release, or is it getting a Hulu release? If it's a Hulu release, maybe so, but I really didn't like Prey.
I'm going to look at the August theatrical releases. See if there's anything that stands out. There's a new Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie.
What?
What's
it
that? Sounds
called?
wrong. That must be from like a previous year. I don't know what that's talking about.
I'm ending the poll. 65%, 64% of you say no, he's not having an affair. They think he's gay.
River of Blood, Bad Guys 2, never saw the first one. The Naked Gun reboot is coming out in August.
I think my dad would love that.
Weapons, it's a horror film, obviously Freakier Friday. Nobody 2, Bob Odenkirk.
I saw the original Nobody a long time ago. A lot of people really liked it. I don't really remember all that much about it. I was a bigger fan. Like, I was a bigger fan of, like, the Jason Statham movies like that, like Beekeeper and, you know.
We've got Americana, a neo-Western crime thriller. The Toxic Avenger, that says a relaunch of the horror comedy.
Yeah, so that one's
a relaunch as in a new movie, or they're re-showing it?
No, this is a new one, and they that's been sitting in development hell for like years, so a lot of people don't think that one's going to be any good.
Also mentions The Roses.
Red Snow says, yes, the combat is indeed mortal, Mary. They said Mary probably. Like that would be your opinion on it. Yes, the combat is indeed mortal. And then Shane H.
That
Wilder.
was definitely a movie.
Shane H. Wilder says Bambi the Reckoning from the Blood and Honey creators is coming out soon.
Oh, that could be interesting.
With me and you uncomfortably
during
laughing.
Halloween, I assume.
Me and you laughing uncomfortable while everybody else is uncomfortable.
I still don't understand why we were the only people laughing when we were in Blood and Honey. Like, everyone was acting like it was this really serious, gruesome thing. They have the new Conjuring movie in September. Oh, this is like the most like stereotypical girl thing of me. I'm definitely gonna go see the new Downton Abbey movie.
That's very you.
Like, it's a little ridiculous that they're still beating that drum, but I don't care. I'm here for it.
They're saying like Nobody was amazing. Yeah, I think it was like one of those things. Look, I didn't see it right when it came out, and I was kind of like, it's on me that I likely didn't like it. I wasn't paying close attention when it was definitely a movie that I watched while doing chores. So to be fair, I didn't make a review for it, so don't take that as my official word on the film. I didn't sit there the whole way through and pay super close attention.
Gordon Shumway said, isn't Trisha Paytas the idiot that said we don't need gravity and that Isaac Newton invented gravity? People shouldn't be surprised that genius named her kid Aquaman.
Fair point.
I don't think that's a fair point at all. I think that she's actually a very intelligent satirist, and she's really good at making people think she's dumb for engagement, which
I did laugh.
fell for.
I did laugh because like I was watching something. Oh, when they were talking about Eddington, and they were talking how they felt that the film should have been a satire but wasn't, and they were explaining what makes satire work, and they were talking about how you have to really truly understand something to satirize it. And I was just thinking about that's why women are so good at satirizing, because women obsess about things, and then which allows them to get really, really knowledgeable about the things that they're satirizing.
Well, not things, but just people. They like overanalyze people and their motivations and stuff like that. Yeah, women really shine in social media satire content, which includes Trisha Paytas. I think that the joke went over your head. Just to be fair to Trisha, I've been watching her videos for a very long time, so I know I can detect when she's being ironic.
Sarenko Production says Trisha doesn't want to unalive anymore. Any more celebrities, I guess.
Yeah, she's done on the warpath. I hope no more celebrity deaths to follow.
Yeah.
Now that she's done having kids.
Crisis Party! Thank you!
Finally, right?
My goodness!
And then under these conditions...
One crisis party in this heat?
Yeah, it's not right.
Okay.
There's also the Tron movie coming out in October.
Yep. I mean, that's
don't care.
That will be an interesting one to follow, given the Jared Leto caught a case. So.
No one's gonna even remember it by then. They don't even remember it now. They already forgot. Because who pays attention to that?
And I think Aquaman. I think that Avatar is at the end of the year, right?
December.
I feel like Tron and Avatar are in the same category of having those. I mean, obviously, Avatar is way more financially successful, but they've got diehard fans.
Then there's the second Wicked movie coming out in November. Then the second Zootopia, which is great news for all the furries out there. And then, yeah, December is Avatar Fire and Ash and the FNAF sequel, mainly.
Yep.
There's a new SpongeBob movie. Okay, don't care. I don't even know these other release names.
What are the other ones?
There's not the Anaconda.
Oh, the remake of that's the comedy version, like
Okay.
the new Anaconda with Jack Black and what's his name?
And Zero AD.
Don't know.
Yeah, the rest of this year is not exciting for.
Oh, it was front loaded in
movies.
July.
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, that would
Yeah.
go for any year, but I'm just not seeing anything that interests me.
All right. Did you ever get around to watching like Wicked on Tubi without ads?
No.
Ad-free Tubi?
No, and like I really would have gone to see it in theaters if it weren't for the fact that it was 3 damn hours long. And if I could know that people wouldn't sing along to the music in the middle, but I just couldn't subject myself to that. Like if it were 2 hours, I probably would have gone to see it just for like the purposes of mocking it, but
Yeah.
no, I'm not a theater kid, never have been, never will be. Honky Kong said, "Joke's on you, I was only pretending to be retarded."
Yeah.
I mean, valid though, because you did fall for it, right? And she got the engagement. If you're an influencer, like, she's clearly influencing people.
Yep.
The whole point of Frenemies was that she would, like, play off of Ethan being the serious, like, the self-serious one. And then she would play, like, the bimbo character. That was, like, comedy gold. I miss Frenemies. I watched every episode. They had, like, 3 different "this is the last" episodes where she storms out and says that she quits.
They're apparently reporting that the Wall Street Journal confirms that Trump's name is in the Epstein files. That's what I'm reading here.
They confirmed it based on
The
what?
Wall Street Journal reports Donald Trump was told by the Justice Department back in May that his name appears in the Epstein files. The White House denies the
Oh.
report. And now, of course, this is being covered by everybody. So,
Well, that's interesting since Trump never refuted Elon's claim
That is true.
he was in the Epstein files. He just tried to damage control on top of damage control. You're
love
gonna have
to
fun
know-
on IRL tonight.
I
I'm
would
sure.
love to know why this didn't get like leaked in the last administration.
Well, because it implicates Democrats.
I mean, I don't like. I mean,
it implicates people all over the political
By that
spectrum.
logic, they could do just exactly what we're doing right now, where they're not releasing the names of any Democrats. They're just releasing his name.
Well, we don't know what evidence they're using to report that in the Wall Street Journal, but the reason why a Republican administration wouldn't release the files is the same reason why a Democrat administration wouldn't release the files, because it implicates all of them.
I believe that they would have selectively released it and gotten his name out there either way if they actually had it. It doesn't track to me.
I don't think that's gonna fly with the public. It's better to just ignore it, because as soon as you Streisand effect the Epstein files and selectively release it, of course, as is happening now, people are going to demand everything. They're going to demand to see everything.
They're never going to get it either. It's never going to happen.
We'll have to wait, but like, I doubt it.
Yeah.
I doubt it. It's really pissing me off lately.
Yeah.
Like the fact that people are pretending this isn't important or that it doesn't like materially affect our political outcomes. It absolutely does.
What do you mean?
Well, it's people are focusing on the sexual crimes instead of why the sexual crimes were being filmed.
Yeah.
Like, that's what is so mind-boggling to me about it. It's like
the fact that it's blackmail.
yes,
Yeah.
like I don't know. I just been like trying to avoid this story because it makes me angry. Red Snow said, "Can we lay on business? I'd stand, but my knee hurts."
You can kneel on business, stand on business, lay on business, walk on business, talk on business. You can do whatever you want.
Yeah. I mean, I guess like standing on business is the
Well,
most powerful.
Mighty Rack says he can pardon himself. That would be hilarious.
He can.
He's a guy we've investigated ourselves and found
no.
that we did nothing wrong.
It's just dumb because I think that when he said there are some people who are named in the files who are innocent, like he's referring to himself because of course there are going to be names mentioned in investigations of people who didn't commit crimes.
Files is not the same thing as client
Yes.
list, which is
Yes.
people are using the terms interchangeably. And
I
hate
genuinely
all of
don't
this.
believe that he's on the client list, but I probably believe that having been a lifelong Democrat up until very recently, he has friends and possibly family members to protect, or friends of friends. Shane H. Wilder said Zero ID is an Angel Studios film about the birth of Christ with a horribly made-up Jim Caviezel as King Herod. Look up his picture. It's bad. Oh, no.
I love Jim Caviezel. I will not take this Jim Caviezel slander.
Omega Red fan sent us a sticker.
It says hype.
It says hype.
All right. Well,
wait, let me look up this Jim Caviezel.
You'll have to send it to me.
Picture. This might be bad. I don't know. Like, I feel like Angel Studios should focus on like movies that tell stories that don't oppose Christian values, but do they really like all need to be about Jesus, you know?
Yeah.
Let me look this up. I'm preparing for the worst. Let's see. Oh,
Yeah.
my.
Send it to me.
Okay, yeah, this is pretty bad. Why? He looks like how
what-
did they like make him look fat?
Like, what's bad about it? Ah!
That is not good.
Hold on.
Oh, no, no, no.
Oh, no. Well, let me open it there. Damn it. Hold on.
Yeah, and like, okay, just he played Jesus, so like I don't want to see him play King Herod.
Yeah. Can you send it to me as like I can't open it here because I have to open.
Oh,
I'd
like
have
the
to open
link.
Yeah, I'd have to open Slack on a.
Okay.
He's giving Colin Farrell as the Penguin vibes.
Here's the article. It's not as well done as Colin Farrell, actually.
Well, no, of course
Not even close, but it's somewhere in this
There it is.
piece.
My goodness.
Yeah, that's not it. I don't like it. Okay, they tried.
They did their best.
We'll see if they can fix it in post.
Okay. All right, guys. Before we go, would you hit the like button on this video, please, and subscribe to the channel if you are new here and you have not subscribed here yet already. Again, please and thank you. Share this content out with everybody. It helps the channel grow. So thank you guys so much. Mary, where can they find you?
You guys can send me validation on Instagram at MaryArchived, or you can send me hate on X. That is also MaryArchived. And help me get TikTok famous. That is also MaryArchived.
All right. If you guys would like to follow me, I am on Instagram and on X at Brett Dasovic on both of those platforms. The show is 5 days a week, Monday through Friday, 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, which is, of course, noon Pacific. We are on Amazon Music, Apple Podcasts, Pandora, and Spotify. If you guys would like to listen rather than watch this show, you can rate and review on Apple Podcasts and on Spotify, which also helps us out a lot. So thank you guys so much for that. And if you want to follow us on social media, we are on Twix at popculture_show, Facebook at Pop Culture Crisis, Instagram at Pop Culture Crisis Pod. Guys, we will be back with another episode tomorrow. We'll see you then.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.